This week in music, things have kind of been popping off. There's like very little exaggeration to that. So some of the bigger stories here we have first is Brent Hinds is absolutely not letting moss grow on under his feet, rather, post-Mastodon. Second up in the big stuff is Swedish melodic death thrash, whatever the hell you want to call them. Legends, The Haunted, have returned in kind of a major way. And third, get your neck ready, Canada, because Korn and Gojira have announced tour dates. We're going to talk about that and quite a bit more. There's some really heavy lifting going on here, so let's talk music. Welcome, nerds, to the Clips channel. If you are new here, then let me welcome you to the Clips. This is a smaller portion of a much larger video that happens over on the main channel. It's a series I like to call The Week in Nerddom. This right here is the music section. We are going to be talking about music-related things, tours, new music, reacting to videos, just regular news in the music news section, all of the things. Super excited to have you here. Let's get into the news. All right, we have follow-ups and corrections. Well, just follow-ups for music, but follow-ups nonetheless. Brent Hinds is our one big follow-up this week. He's definitely hitting the ground running as he is no longer part of the beast that is known as Mastodon. He just played last week, since we last spoke anyway, just played his first show rather, post-Mastodon, with his other once side project band called Fiend Without a Face. Now he's promoting a new show in the Atlanta area that is going to feature all three of his current projects: Fiend Without a Face, West End Motel, and Dirty B and the Boys. It's going to be at the Garden Club at Wild Haven West in Atlanta on April 18th is when the show is happening. So Hinds is apparently really trying to do music still, just wasn't down for the Mastodon. Okay, interesting. Let's move on. We have new music announced this week, new albums coming out. First up is The Haunted announce their first record in 8 years. The name of the album is Songs of Last Resorts, due May 30th on Century Media. First single is out now, called Warhead. We will actually be doing the That Just Happened show this week, so we will be talking about that. We have a lot of ground to cover on That Just Happened because it never happened last week, so there's that. And then also new music this week announced is Garbage announced a new album. Let All That We Imagine Be the Light is the name of the record. It is their 8th studio album. No proper release date has been made known just yet, but as soon as it is, we'll be talking about it. That's kind of the big noteworthy new announcements for music. So let's move into tours and festivals, shall we? First one is the big one, and that is Korn Canadian tour with Gojira. Opening the bill is going to be the band Loathe. Was unable to find a link to this, so I'm sure if you just go to Korn's website, it's not going to be a big deal, or Gojira or Loathe's website, I'm sure they're also going to have links there. But the tour kicks off September 17th, runs through October 1st, again up in the Great White North known as Canada. Speaking of Garbage, they are going on tour, so presumably the record will be out relatively soon. September 3rd is when the Happy Endings tour starts. It will start in Orlando, Florida, runs through November 2nd in Phoenix, Arizona. Support from the band Starcrawler, whom I've never heard of, so that should be interesting. Tickets go on sale April 4th. For this tour. Moving along, we have one other real big touring announcement, and that is Chevelle. Support from Asking Alexandria and Dead Poets Society. Chevelle tour will be kicking off August 7th in San Antonio, Texas, runs through October 2nd in Airway Heights, Washington. I thought that was the venue when I first read this announcement. Pre-sale tickets are on sale now. Standard tickets, so everyone else's tickets, will go up on the 28th. Link is down in the description for that, as well as for the Garbage tour. Now that's what we got for tours and festivals. Like I said at the beginning of the season, this is going to be a big merch push season. We are jumping in to doing the merch. I have the first specialty piece lined up. It's probably going to drop next month though, so we're looking at April for our first specialty piece. So jump in now, get yourself some basic nerd shirts, just the real basic design. Let the world know that you are a nerd and you love the things that we talk about on this show. In the broad strokes, at the very least, there's the music nerd, there's the movie nerd, there's the gaming nerd and the tech nerd and all of the different kinds of nerds that we embrace here at Generally Nerdy, and then all of the other ones. If you feel like your category has been missed, please by all means let me know and I will make a shirt based on that information, assuming I agree with said information. But either way, merch push, go check out the merch store. We got some pretty awesome stuff and I'm actually quite proud of these designs because I did them all by hand. So thank you very much, nerds. Go check out the merch store. Don't forget to, you know, pick something up while you're there. Helps the channel a lot. As soon as we can start regularly getting merch out, I can start cutting back hours at the day job. That's how this works. I can focus more on entertaining and informing you guys. So thank you very much, nerds. Let's get back to the video. Let's talk about regular ass news. So one thing before we get into regular ass news, I guess we probably could have put this into the new music section, but I just remembered and it's not in the notes because I couldn't find like an actual news piece on this, but AFI have announced that they are working on their next record currently, which could be a good thing. I mean, they've done some good tracks over the course of the last 3 or 4 records, but nothing like, I don't know that I would necessarily call the last 3 or 4 records anything of my favorite that they've done. I don't know, Burials was actually fairly legitimate. So either way, working on a new record. I can't substantiate that outside of, I think they put the announcement up on their Instagram. Maybe it was their Facebook. Either way, they're working on a new record. That should have gone in new music, but whatever. Let's talk about the rest of the regular ass news. First up is Kevin Smith versus Gwar. Kind of. So Gwar have a documentary coming out, or out I think actually, called This Is Gwar. There's going to be a special screening event at the Smod Castle Cinemas, which is the name of the double theater that Kevin Smith owns in New Jersey. They are selling tickets now. You can find a link down in the description. It is going to be, again, a special showing of the Gwar documentary that kind of goes through the entire history of the band. And also, there's going to be a Q&A that Smith is going to host with the band after the airing of the movie. So that'll be pretty cool. You can get tickets are about $25 unless you want to do photo ops afterwards as well, which that's going to be $100. You get a photo op with Smith and Gwar together. Pretty awesome. That's all we got though. Again, link in the description. Let's move on. From there, we have a really funny piece. Like, I'm kind of legitimately interested, but also it makes me chuckle every time I see anything covering this. But Matty Matheson, if you don't know who that is, Matty Matheson, if you watched The Bear, he was Fack. If you are an internet food lover, then you know him as Matty Matheson. He's a chef. He has a YouTube channel that's fairly successful. He's done a number of things. He's a chef consultant also on The Bear. He did the Last Meals podcast with Mythical Chef Josh over on the Mythical Kitchen channel. He's kind of, I mean, again, if you're millennial and younger and you're into food, then you know Matty Matheson. If you're not and you watch The Bear, then you know Matty Matheson. So that dude, the goofy dude with all the tattoos, has started a new band. If you have seen any of his interviews recently, then you know that he was into the music scene as he was kind of in his early days in being a cook as well. And that kind of took a back seat to the chefdom, as it does. And now he's to a point in his career where he wants to get back into it, apparently. The name of the band is Pigpen. It is also featuring one of the guitarists from Alexis on Fire, Wade McNeil. They have a show booked for March 25th. You can find a link down in the description that will take you to a little bit more details if you're interested in trying to check that out. If you also go check out the Instagram for the band or for Maddie Matheson, you'll see it referred to as a few old friends got together to make some music. It's kind of, I mean, it's a little bit of a paraphrase, but that's pretty close to what they actually said about it. And like, what better way to make music than just getting together with old buddies? There is a reference to the fact that there is some sort of album that has been recorded with this band, though it does say that it was done a decade ago over the course of 2 days, now that Maddie has a little bit more money. And also, what was his name? Wade McNeil also has a little bit more money than they did a decade ago. I would imagine if they're going to put any sort of recordings out there into the ether, they're probably going to re-record said record or new material or something along those lines, but those details have not been made known to anybody yet. Just this show that they're playing on March 25th. So go check it out. It's going to be kind of awesome, I bet. And then we have a piece about a new record label, Imprint, I think. No, this is a legit label. I apologize. So the name of the new record label is White Cobra Records. Chimera are the ones that are in charge of this new label. This is their record label to celebrate starting this new venture in their lives. They have they're going to rather reissue the first release, their self-titled album from 2005. It is going to include a handful of new bonus tracks, one of which being a cover. And the pre-orders are live now. The link in the description will take you to where you can go pre-order this. I think White Cobra Records, the website actually is the best place to do that, which is not what the link is. The link takes you to the article that I found that announced this. Either way, go do that, because pre-orders are live now and they will stay open for the next month. So pretty solid. That's great. That is what we have for regular ass news, though. Let's talk about our music suggestion this week, and we're staying with Chimera. I really like Chimera. However, my favorite Chimera record is actually The Impossibility of Reason, released in 2003, May 13th of 2003. This is just kind of like the peak of everything. Most of the super popular tracks, I'm totally blanking on any of them right now because I didn't include them into the notes for some reason. I really love this record, though. Just the incredible brutality, moving away from the nu metal enough to still kind of have those elements, but also be lumped into the likes of Lamb of God. When I saw them supporting this record, it was with the likes of Lamb of God. Pretty sure it was them on tour with Lamb of God at one point. Either way, fantastic standout record. Chimera, I really hope they put out something new soon. Either way, this is kind of the peak of their sound, and that is your suggestion for the week. Thank you very much, nerds, for tuning in. If you want to level up your nerdy, geeky, pop culture knowledge, then don't forget to subscribe and do all of the things. Go check out the main channel, Generally Nerdy, for the larger portion. Again, you get all of these sections into one convenient video over on Generally Nerdy. The name of the show is The Week in Nerddom. Thank you for checking out this clip. We will see you next time. Before we go, though, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.